Hi, it's Frank Prendergast here with Daily Xtra, talking with Brian Orser. Brian, we heard the news about Toller Cranston passing. What effect is this having on you?
Well, I have so many wonderful memories of Toller because he influenced my skating as a youngster. I used to watch him on television, and then then he was doing commentary while I was competing, and he always had some very fun and interesting things to say. And then I got to tour with him for probably 8-10 years maybe. So a lot of tour buses and a lot of Toller stories and a lot of performances and rehearsals with him. And he made such a great contribution to figure skating. And ironically, it was on the night of the men's free program here at the national championship. So, he had so much to give to the sport, and I'm grateful for that, and he'll be missed.
Do you think he was embraced by the skating community or distanced because of his sexuality?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I think at the beginning, soon after Olympics and through the 70s, I don't think he was really out, although he was out. Do you know what I mean? He certainly was not a hypocrite and didn't lie about anything, and I don't think it really mattered to him. I don't think the skating world saw it any differently either. I mean, that's the thing about, I feel, being Canadian, is that the fans, embrace you, they respect you regardless of anything, and that's the legacy that he has. He was a very flamboyant skater and changed figure skating on a global scale because of it, and he made it okay for men to be artistic. So people who followed in those footprints, and me, of course, and Kurt Browning and Elvis Stoico, and guys, who felt it was okay to express themselves in any way that they wanted. It had nothing to do with sexuality. It just was being free to express yourself, and he sort of paved the way for that.
Now, you knew Toller Cranston quite well. How would you describe him as a person?
I knew Toller before he was actually Toller, the Toller. The end of my career was sort of the beginning of his. And I remember when he first moved from Montreal to Toronto and was training in the rink that I was training in as well. And young and naive, and with this huge idea about the potential for figure skating that he couldn't get anyone to pay attention to. And I remember very distinctly leaning against the boards while he was almost teary about how upset he was that people couldn't understand him, that he felt they were laughing at him. And I remember our conversation to a certain extent, and it was about, look, when you believe in something, you have to be brave. You have to push forward, and you have to make people understand. And even though you might not be the best in the world at this point, you have to be the best in the world for people to take notice. And that was kind of the story of his life. He was brave and determined and would not compromise in any way. And it was great for skating.
It seemed to be an open secret about his sexuality, and because a lot of our viewership is LGBT, this is why we're focusing on this. But it seemed to be an open secret for quite some time. How did he navigate that when he was skating? What did that look like?
I don't think for Toller it was an issue that he was particularly concerned about. Certainly never discussed with us, between us. I think he saw life in colors, and the brighter the color, the better the experience. So his life was lived pushing to the extreme in everything that he undertook. So if the discussion was about being gay or homophobia, he wanted to shock people. He wanted to use that shock technique to get people to pay attention. Listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you're thinking. Listen to the boundaries you're putting on yourself. That was his goal, whether it was about the gay community, or about artistic skating, about painting. He didn't really care.
Thank you so much. Thanks.